This scanning neuron shows how cells communicate via the nervous system. On the left, we have the presynaptic neuron, which sends the messages, and on the right, we have the postsynaptic neuron, which receives the messages. The soma is the cell body, and it is basically the lifeline for the cell, so it contains the mitochondria and all of the things needed for cell survival. The nucleus is in the soma, and it is like the control center of the cell. Dendrites allow for signals to be sent faster, and they branch off of the soma. The dendritic spine is a small storage site for synaptic strength and helps transmit signals.
A signal gets passed down the axon, which carries away info from the soma. On the axon, there are myelin sheaths, which insulate the signals and make the signal travel faster. In between the myelin sheaths are the nodes of Ranvier. When a cell is resting potential, it is at rest and is polarized. It's just hanging out. Once it receives a signal, like a sense of touch, the action potential, which is like an impulse, will send the signal down the impulse. The inside of the cell gets depolarized as sodium rushes into the membranes of the axon and potassium rushes out. This action potential continues down the axon as the inside of the cell gets depolarized. Once the axon has depolarized a sufficient amount, a point called the threshold is reached, which is around negative 55 MV.
The threshold is needed for the signal to fire. This is called the all or nothing principle. Once the threshold is reached, the action potential moves all the way down the axon, allowing the electrical signal to make it to the axon terminals, which contain vesicles, which are little sacs that contain neurotransmitters. The synapse is the space between the axon of the presynaptic cell and the dendrite of the other. Once the signal makes it to the terminal, the vesicles release neurotransmitters, which the receptor sites on the dendrite of the postsynaptic cell picks up and receives the signal. Some neurotransmitters are absorbed by the presynaptic neuron if there are excess neurons. This is called reuptake. After all of that, the communication of one signal is done.